Jai Gurudev. Nowadays, we hear the word coding from everywhere. Do you have any idea about the code of the nature? Today, we are going to discuss about the code of the nature. Let's begin with an activity. First, collect some flowers. Next, take a ripe pineapple. Try counting the petals on each of your flower. Do you have any flowers with 4, 6, 7 or 9 petals? Chances are you will find flowers with 3, 5, 8, 13 or 21 petals. But you don't find many with 4, 6, 7 or 9 petals. Look at the scales making up the skin of your pineapple. Notice how each scale sits at a slight angle and looks rough like a pentagon, with each flat side touching the flat side of another scale. Also see how they make up diagonal rows and lines that encircle the pineapple. Don't forget to include the ones at the very top and very bottom of the pineapple. As for the pineapple, with few exceptions, we can see one row with 13 scales while the other row with 21 scales. What is so special about these numbers? These numbers are called Fibonacci numbers. Of course, nature is full of small variations. That is how evolution works. Which is why you will occasionally find a flower with 4 or 6 petals or count a line of 14 or 12 scales on your pineapple. Let's see the Fibonacci series, that is the code of the nature. The Fibonacci numbers were introduced by Leonardo of Pisa or Fibonacci. Fibonacci was an Italian mathematician. He was considered to be one of the most talented mathematicians. He popularized the Hindu-Arabic number system in the Western world. What's the reason behind this pattern? This type of number series is known as Fibonacci series. The famous Fibonacci sequence has captivated mathematicians, artists, designers, and scientists for centuries. Let's talk about the Fibonacci golden ratio and the Fibonacci series. In the Fibonacci sequence, the numbers are arranged as 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and so on. 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. 5 plus 8 is equal to 13. It goes on and on. Do you understand the sequence? You get the next number by adding the two numbers just before that. This is known as Fibonacci sequence or the Fibonacci numbers. You can even draw the sequence. Start the sequence by drawing 1 cm by 1 cm square. The next number is also 1. So draw one more square with 1 by 1. Then draw a 2 cm by 2 cm square. Then 3 cm by 3 cm square. And then 5 cm by 5 cm square. Here you will get a rectangle with 5 cm by 8 cm. This is known as golden rectangle. Then draw a line connecting all the squares. You will get a spiral. This is known as Fibonacci spiral or the golden spiral. You can see the Fibonacci spiral all around the natural world. Children, just think about this. What about the relationship between a cabbage cut in half and a tropical storm? What's a Divine ratio? The ratio between the two successive Fibonacci numbers is known as Divine ratio. That is approximately 1 is to 1.618. Examples: 5 divided by 3 is equal to 1.6. 8 divided by 5 is equal to 1.6. 13 divided by 8 is equal to 1.6. 21 divided by 13 is equal to 1.6. This is known as divine ratio or golden mean or the golden ratio or the God's own number or the God's own fingerprint. We call it as the code of the nature. That is why the Fibonacci sequence is a very important factor in the nature. This divine ratio 1.6 is mentioned as phi in the Greek language. It is an irrational number. An irrational number is a real number but cannot be written in a simple fraction. If you look at the sunflower, you will be amazed because the arrangement of seeds are based on the Fibonacci spirals. The spirals are arranged as clockwise and anti-clockwise. The number of seeds are always 21, 34, 55 and so on. If the clockwise is 21 and the anti-clockwise is 34, we always see the successive Fibonacci numbers in the arrangement of seeds. Here is an important question. Why does this pattern exist? Because if the seeds are arranged in the Fibonacci sequence, they automatically fall into the golden ratio, that is 1:1.618. That's why the nature has selected golden ratio as its ratio. That's why nature has selected 1.6, the golden ratio, as its ratio. This ratio helps to get more seeds in the space as well as the betterment of the dispersal of seeds. The number of petals in a flower consistently follows the Fibonacci sequence. Examples: lily, which has 3 petals, buttercups with 5 petals, daisy with 34 petals, and so on. The Fibonacci sequence can also be seen in the way tree branches form or split. The golden spiral can be seen in the snail shells, horns of certain goats, and the shape of certain spiders' web. Speaking of honeybees, they follow Fibonacci in other interesting ways. The most profound example is by dividing the number of females in a colony by the number of males. The answer is typically something very close to the golden ratio, 1.618. The spiral galaxies also follow the familiar Fibonacci pattern. Fibonacci numbers are in our own body. Look at the distance from your shoulder to elbow and elbow to your fingertips. Shoulder to elbow is 1 and elbow to your fingertip is 1.6. Pretty crazy, isn't it? You measure the distance from fingertip to the wrist, it's 1. The distance from wrist to the elbow is 1.6. Better, you think like this. Your head to navel is 1 and the navel to your feet is 1.6. Have you ever wondered why your 2 front teeth are bigger? Just because of golden ratio. The whole body is the symphony of golden ratio. The golden ratio is even present in your DNA. We can see the golden ratio not only in nature but also in the art and architecture too. Many buildings and artworks reflects the golden ratio. Some artists and the architects believe the golden ratio makes the most pleasing and beautiful shapes. We can also see the golden spirals and the golden rectangles in our rangolis. Isn't it fascinating, children? No wonder we are naturally bent to worship a higher power because we are beautifully and wonderfully made. We live in a universe which is designed and hardwired to be life permitting. When you just look around the house, you can see the golden ratio in your garden. Products like refrigerator, washing machine, logos, and so on. Find out the golden ratio, the code of the nature. Jai Gurudev.